Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Hear Me Out Pitch, or welcome to Hear Me Out Pitch if this is your first time. I'm Tim.
And I'm Willem.
And what are we doing today?
What? I thought you had a So I gave you kind of two things to think about. Actually, we have a few things that we were talking about, but one of the biggest ones I think was an origin story for a certain Disney character that I kind of mentioned to you. I really wanted to go into that and make it like he's got to check
I gotta check the texts.
And I think I sent another idea, but I can't remember exactly what that was. And I'm sorry if y'all have to listen to my beard getting scritched.
Fairy Godmother.
Yeah. Oh, you spoiled it. Oh, and then I sent you the weird one on Facebook.
The weird one was on Messenger.
Yeah. That story was really cool. I really thought that was awesome.
The soulmates thing.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember.
All right, so Tim, we want to do Fairy Godmother, or do we want to do soulmates?
Let's try Fairy Godmother.
Fairy Godmother?
My brain... I'm so tired, guys. It's not even funny. I started my new job like a week and a half ago, or 2 weeks ago. And today I was working with clients, and they used me as a jungle gym for 6 hours. So I'm tired. I don't know if you've ever had just a bunch of, 75-pound 10-year-olds climbing all over you for 6 hours, but it's hard.
Yes, but it was in water, so not the same.
Yeah. Water makes them lighter.
But you're more stressed out because they might, fall in the water.
Yes. Well, I don't know, because I gotta take the same precautions because
That's
these
true.
kids are special needs.
That's true. Oh. So, origin of Fairy Godmother, and I got this idea. Well, I've
got to preface this. This is the Fairy Godmother from Cinderella, not from Shrek.
Yes. That's a very important thing to mention.
That is a very big difference.
The Fairy Godmother that many of us are familiar with, Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo. And I know Wish was sort of possibly that was a nod. That was not the Fairy Godmother's origin. I could see that maybe that as a sect of Fairy Godmothers. But I would think that a live action story that would be awesome would be the origin of the Fairy Godmother. I think it would be awesome. I think it would be cute to connect it to the Cinderella movie that we currently have. So the woman would be, I hope I don't say her name wrong, Helena
Bonham Carter.
Yep.
I was literally just thinking that she would be a really good fit.
So it would either be her, or maybe this would be like a different connotation. But if it were, I think she could still do it, because the idea that I'm thinking of is that I should back up a little bit, because I got this idea from always being curious about what her story is. But recently, this last week, around the same time with that other post I shared, I saw a post that talked about how many people are claiming that Cinderella didn't do anything. Cinderella was just rescued. And many people defended that. And of course, I am not the biggest fan of Helpless Princess. I think those are lame. I'm more of a fan of Mulan. I love Elsa and Anna. I love Moana.
Merida and Brave.
There are just so many. We love good, strong, independent characters. Aurora, I would love to talk about how to change her character. Because, she says like 8 lines. And then she falls asleep, and that's it. Mm-hmm. Prince Philip is really the hero of that movie. And I love Prince Philip. And
well,
anyway.
I will say this. I think the take on that story that we got with Maleficent was a really good way to show that no, Aurora wasn't helpless. She was cursed.
Yep. And I need to watch the second one. You liked the second one?
I liked the first one.
The second
one was okay. The first one was really, really good. It is one of my favorite Disney movies.
Out of all the movies, and I will do my very best not to get this too heavy, but that was probably the first time I can think of a children family movie putting so heavily the pains of assault, and I'll just leave it at that. You know, when she wakes up and her wings are gone, that scene was I cried the first time I saw it. I was so Angelina Jolie killed it, loved it. Point being, rewinding again, not rewinding, but going back to our original tangent, was that the Fairy Godmother was a way to show that sometimes people can't get out of their situations. They are in horrible relationships. They're in horrible, and sometimes they need help, and sometimes it's just never going to come. And that's the terrible thing, is if Fairy Godmother never came, Cinderella was kind, lovely, wonderful. She tried to make her own dress. She always did what her stepsisters and stepmom needed. And for anyone who does not like the live action one, you can just be sad, because that is my favorite Disney live action, because it is so beautiful and so well done. And so what I'm trying to get at is, what would make this character, how would this character come to fruition, that she follows this woman and finally comes to her at the point where she breaks? And I will preface that the biggest inspiration I am getting is this is going to be a Klaus-esque movie. For anyone that's seen the Netflix movie Klaus, that's kind of the idea I'm getting. That's the only way I can see it.
I was thinking more along the lines of like Mary Poppins. Where it's, that's just who she is. And we can go through, like, we can create a scenario, right, where she's got a trial, because that's how movies are. But she's got some big, deadly trial that could ruin lives, yada yada yada, and she has to make a decision on how she's going to help people. Maybe because right, the whole point of the Fairy Godmother is that she, in Cinderella, is that she helps Cinderella achieve the dreams she can't achieve on her own. She doesn't make the dreams actually happen. She just helps. She's a catalyst for Cinderella, to put it simply.
She knew the wishes of Cinderella's heart. Cinderella wanted to go. So you're saying, okay. Well, now that you said that, now I'm imagining is all Cinderella wanted was to be brought in on a carriage, to be led by a team, to be in a beautiful dress, and to dance with someone. And she got all that night. That's all she wanted. Because a dream is, oh my gosh, a dream is a wish your heart makes.
A wish your heart makes.
So if I can throw in the ending to kind of tell you what my end goal would be. And if you would, I imagine the Fairy Godmother was human. So if we're going to go the Klaus route, this is kind of where I'm going with it. And somewhat spoilers for Klaus if you haven't seen it. Don't know why I'm looking in the mic.
If you haven't seen Klaus, we're coming up on Christmas. I know Halloween is tomorrow for us. Go watch it, Klaus. It is. We talked about it last year. It's
one of my favorite Christmas movies.
It might be my favorite Christmas.
It's
movie.
The best Santa Claus movie to me.
It really is. It really is. And don't get me wrong. The Santa Claus, it's a classic, but Klaus is. It's just the best.
It just goes perfect with my favorite Christmas song. But with the Klaus with the Klaus kind of mentality, I imagine that, especially if it's, how do you say her name? I don't want to say it. The actress.
Helena Bonham Carter.
I would have her, it's her life. It's real, and it would show her being, I imagine that she would be like the maid or kind of stewardess of Cinderella's mother and becomes her friend. And what I would want is she loves her and cares for the mother, so much, and I can't remember Cinderella's mother's name from the movie, but I loved her because it was Peggy from Captain America, so I died. But I would have a scene similar. I would have a scene where when Ella was born, it would be her showing Helena, I don't even know what we'd call the fairy godmother, or we can just call her. Some people speculate, like, just to be funny, they just call her Faye. I don't know. I'll let you think of a name. You're always really clever when it comes to names. But it would be her showing her, baby Cinderella, and, Helena looks, and fairy godmother just looks at her and promises to take care of her just like she did with her mommy, and she'll always be there.
Excuse me.
And then I would want that character to die, like just getting old, she's getting withered, kind of have a Karl Muntz moment with his wife. And as, this character is fading and leaving, and dying, she would be seeing, her last wish would be seeing Cinderella and her mother. And she's like, I promise I'm going to always take care of you two. And that's it. And we would like have more scenes later on. But my main goal would be the connection between Cinderella's mother and fairy godmother, because a godparent is someone who they bestow to you. I imagine that Helena's character, I don't know why I keep calling her Helena. I'm just calling her Helena. Her name is Helena for this movie's sake. I imagine Helena's character is the typical back then, the spinster, never had kids, but loved Cinderella's mother and would soon to love Ella in her brief time she met with her. And I think that would be cute. It's a connection. It's something that it would be so sweet that Ella doesn't remember her fairy godmother when she was alive, but because she appears and is so familiar with her, she recognizes, are you my fairy godmother? And that'd be much cuter because, and I don't know, I'm kind of rambling. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
That's kind of my thoughts.
I was going to take it a little different, a little bit different of a route. My thought was, and we need to use the name Faye because, it would be the fairy godmother in her earlier years. If you've ever seen the TV show Merlin, it was on Netflix. I don't know where it is now. I think it's Amazon Prime now. Those of you who've seen it, Merlin is a young warlock wizard kid who lives in the land of Camelot, where the king has outlawed magic. And so he has to hide. And, this is the classic Merlin, the wizard from King Arthur's stories, right? And he has to hide his magic from the kingdom while still protecting Prince Arthur and later King Arthur. And I was kind of thinking we could try something similar where, Faye is a witch from a young age. She's discovered magic. Her maybe it's her mother that doesn't, that discovers that her daughter has magic and kind of tries to hide it from everybody. And basically she grows up using magic in the home for simple, small things, but she's not ever allowed to explore it until she meets Cinderella's mom, who I don't know how exactly I would play this, but I want them to be like best friends. Cinderella's mom and fairy godmother would be best friends growing up. And I know it's a little bit, I guess timelines wouldn't actually, never mind, ignore that. They'd be best friends growing up. Fairy godmother would be maybe a little bit older. And Cinderella's mom would basically encourage fairy godmother to use her magic to help people and That's kind of how I would take it, and maybe it could be that we're exploring the I guess the romantic relationship between Cinderella's mom and Cinderella's dad, and we could see
Oh
Fairy
my gosh,
Godmother helping them.
she
Kind of
totally
pulling them
helped
together,
them.
fixing
Aw.
things, like she does.
She could make, I imagine, for one like date idea, it would be that they turn. Maybe Cinderella's mom doesn't know yet. Like, she understands that her friend, but like the catalyst, the middle of the movie would be she's going on a date with, or she's wants to go on like a getaway with this, kind of upper middle class, this evil stepmother and the daughters. They went to a ball. They were invited. She was called a lady. So that means the husband, Cinderella's father, we gotta get names for these characters. This is gonna be a fun, like, Cinderella's mom, stepmom, and gonna go over. Usually I have stuff written down, sometimes, but tonight is not one of those nights. Today is, to quote Aragorn, today is not that day.
Excuse you?
Aragorn.
Thank you.
I've offended Tim twice today. Twice.
Cinderella's mother, played by Haley Atwell.
Love her.
Are you gonna give me a name?
No name. No name for you.
It doesn't give me the name. Does he have a name? Seriously? Hold on.
At this point, we're just venturing to figure out what's going on.
Really. Okay, in the show Once Upon a Time, he is given a name.
Okay.
Marcus Tremaine.
All right, I like that name. I like the name Marcus. I can work with Marcus. Now the mother. You know what? I know this might be lame. I know this might be really lame, but I want to call her Alice. I know, but Marcus and Alice, I think, would be so cute of a couple. And then their daughter, because they have this it's both two syllables. They have that us sound, and I think it would just be cute. It'd be a good ship couple. What's your vote?
I kind of want to go something a little bit simple, like Marie.
Marie and Marcus.
Marie and Marcus.
Marie and Marcus. Now, what about Fairy Godmother? What would her name be? I feel like these are our three main characters. I feel like Lady Tremaine should be there as just like a snippety, younger, just to be funny. Like someone who kind of had a crush on Marcus when they were younger, just briefly, like schoolyard, it would just be funny. Tremaine. But we have to give her a name too. Never mind. Just to be fun, we would definitely throw her in there somewhere, but you guys just plug in wherever you guys would want it. Or let us know in the comments. We love comments.
We could do Stella.
I was thinking of Stella.
Stella could work.
For the Fairy Godmother?
For the Fairy Godmother.
Oh, and then they call her Ella.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, got it. Okay. So we have Stella, Marie, and Marcus. Love it. Thank you.
Okay. We got names. We figured it out.
We got names. Sometimes this is what happens, and it's just fun. And don't worry, we will edit that good part out. That's usually what happens. But I think a cute scene I would want to see is middle of the movie. Stella hasn't quite yet revealed to Marie her powers. So I want you to fill us in of, we need to figure out why she's kind of hiding. Probably magic being exiled, I think, is a good idea. But what I would want is she's telling Marie, she's like, Marie, just, I would imagine that we've had a few run-ins with Marie and Marcus being all cute. And she looks at him and she's kind of like saying, "Oh, I just want a special night with Marcus. I just want something nice with him." And Marie's just like, okay. Not Marie. Stella's like, "All right, Marie, bring Marcus to the old cottage around 11. All right?" She's like, "Okay." Like, 11. Look at me. 11, and you must be out a quarter before midnight. Like, okay.
I'm remembering now that the fairy godmother's magic comes from her wand.
Yeah.
And she is the fairy godmother. So what if, because it's Disney and we can do whatever the crap we want,
"Quote unquote not Disney." Hashtag not Disney.
It's yeah.
Based off of it.
Yeah. Yes. What if fairy godmother, if Stella is a fairy, and she finds a wand, and then and that wand gives her the powers, and then Cinderella's mom helps her kind of learn the ways of society.
See, that's the hard thing, is the wand makes the magic, and the wand is only activated by Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo in this one. So are we just going to retcon that stuff? Or are we just going to say that it is a magic wand, and is she really a fairy, or is she not?
But making her a fairy. Because here's the thing. You look at Sleeping Beauty, right? We've got the other fairies that function relatively similar to
Fairy
Godmother. And the way that they're portrayed, it's very similar. Fairy Godmother just has a more direct and more helpful insert into Cinderella's story.
I just remembered a little headcanon that I made up as a little boy. No joke. Made this up as a little kid because I loved the old Disney movies as a kid. Watched them so much. I always had a headcanon that Merryweather, the Make It Blue fairy,
blue one. Mm-hmm.
She is the fairy that would help Cinderella in the future. She looks older. They live so long, and she appears to Cinderella, and she's good at this. She's gotten so much better after she helped her previous child. So Disney's logic: fairies, wands, they can hide their wings.
It could be a while later too.
Oh, I forgot. I put it away. And I love that scene as a kid. She just pulls it out of thin air. Always loved that scene as a kid. And it just, but she appears without it. So she does have more magic than just that. So,
right.
So the wand, when channeled, I don't know, you're the wand.
It's kind of like in Dungeons and Dragons.
Nerd!
Yes. Anyway, it's kind of like in Dungeons and Dragons. A wizard, has either components for the spell or a magic focus. Usually a wand or a crystal ball or something that helps them channel their magic. Without it, they can still use magic. It's just more limited. So I guess this would be a very similar thing where, Stella has magic and she can use it. It's more potent when she has her wand.
So why would this fairy, or is it like angel getting their wings sort of thing? They have to help somebody. Is it that maybe she is trying to learn to be like that? Again, I want to throw in the Klaus thing and give that a consideration. And the only reason why I say that is because trying to explain the before and her being young is, to me, more difficult than doing the cheap. And it was so cheap, I will admit, the Klaus ending, so cheap, because they never go like, hey, we don't know how it happened, but he became Santa Claus. Bless you. So I realized I never finished the idea. The idea I had, I'll put this in really quick. The idea I had is at some point I want Stella to help Marcus and Marie have a wonderful evening, and she makes a little cottage into a beautiful, well-lit, well-furnished cottage. There's servants, there's everything, and they appear, and they're like, what's going on? And Stella's sitting there just as a waitress, like, just go with it, okay, just go with it, shut up. And like just is helping serve them beautiful food, and it goes... I imagine she goes back to the kitchen and it's animals, and you got like a goose yelling, honk! Just yelling, honk! Like just trying to do the best.
It's the Gordon Ramsay of
Gordon Honky right here, just honk, 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 honk.
No, it's got to be a sheep. Gordon Ramsay.
Get out! Gordon Ramsay.
A week and a half. Yeah.
Just sitting there purring. He's a human, but he's got ram horns instead of the...
Where's the lamb sauce? You know, he's got his whole thing.
Oh my gosh, you're a genius. Yes. And it would be funny because it would be humans. That'd be even better. It's humans, but then they have like ram's horns still because they're magic, because she's not that good yet. And they still kind of show. Like, that'd be perfect. She walks by. How's it going, Mr. Ram? Meh, I'll get you the lamb sauce. Meh. He's like ashamed. Could you imagine him making it? She turned us into humans, she did. It was terrible. And now we're just conscious. We know everything. Have you seen that video?
I have.
Okay, good. 115, you're beautiful. Anyway, I would want that scene to give that little Disney-esque, like, cute, funny. That'd be funny.
Call the Ram Gordon.
Gordon, how's everything going? You want to eat lamb sauce? Everyone kind of stops and looks at him. And they just gotta keep cooking faster. You see some of the chefs have little chicken noses. They're cooking a chicken or something. And she goes, I know, and she's like, oh, this is so wrong. Stella's just watching in the corner. This is the bad choice to do. Anyway. I would love that scene. I would want
Agreed.
that somewhere in the movie.
Agreed.
And I would want them to try to get, and as it gets closer to midnight, again, her magic's not that good. And I don't know why it gets read at midnight. Maybe it's D&D rules, magic doesn't, it's a new day. It just unwinds. Now I'm the nerd. Oh my gosh. Anyway.
The apprentice has become the master.
I honestly was expecting you just to But yeah, that's just one scene I would want.
Mm-hmm.
And now I guess the question is, we need to really weigh it out here. We go with a fairy trying to be human, or a magical human who turns into something more.
I'm thinking a fairy. Maybe not that she tries to be human, but maybe Cinderella's mom saves her somehow, from some trap or something.
And it's like, gosh, dang it. And she like shrugs off the trap and like, oh, do you have to be so kind? And she goes, what do you mean? Now I'm indebted to you. And Ella's like, whoa. And Marie goes, and Marie was probably be smart. And she goes, I want you to help me with a man. Because we could have a Prince Ali moment.
Yeah.
She could be a poor farm girl. I imagine this happens at their farm. Again, the cottage would be hilarious. Like, where do you have all these servants? Oh, it's nothing. So we could have like an Aladdin Prince Ali type of thing going on. And she only gets one. But it has to be that weird because the Fae, the Fae folk, they do not let things just go. So I think originally...
No, but in classic Disney, they kind of do.
I would think...
I'm going off of the, pretty much what we see in in Sleeping Beauty, in the first Sleeping Beauty, where the fairies are very helpful.
Oh, and you know what? We can add a little Tinkerbell in there as well. Maybe she's dying.
We can have a Tinkerbell moment.
You know, she's all small and tiny, and she finds her. What do I do? And like, it's a little tiny fairy creature, and
She's
someone
caught in a bottle or something.
or it's just the someone said the thing you're not supposed to. And I am such a man child that I feel bad saying it. I'm not going to say it. I feel bad.
All right.
My sisters would be really mad at me if I said that. So, just because we love Tinkerbell, so we grew up loving those movies. And y'all can make fun of me for being childish. But they probably said that one thing you're not supposed to say around fairies if you don't know what I'm talking about. Wow. Mm-hmm. But she probably, just finds her and has the cute, like, moment, like, what do I do? And Stella's on the ground, tiny. Clap your hands. Say you believe. Do it. And she's like, okay, I believe in fairies. And there's a little church moment. I believe. No. Shrek and Donkey moment. I believe. Stuff like that. I don't know. It's either, I think the bottle would be the safest bet. I think just saving her from a bottle, saving her from a net, a bug trap, something. There's something she's like trapped in just something all small and she can't get out. And she's like, oh, what do I do? And I just imagine she's just cute and small like the fairies from Sleeping Beauty or Tinkerbell-esque. Either way, just cute and would work with Disney. Would love it. Either way, cute. And I think the journey would be her growing to love Marie as a sister and more, and then vowing to take care of her. And so what we could do is we could follow Marie for a little bit, and we could have some tragedy with Marie's family. Maybe her house burns down, something like that. Something is causing
Stella has to go and save Marie, and maybe. Or maybe Stella can't save Marie, and so she goes and finds Marcus and says, Marie's in trouble. You need help. You need to help. So that could be after the date.
So here's the selfish thing. Okay, I've found a way that this could work really well.
Okay.
Marie's family, farm folk, burnt, accident, crops didn't go bad when their family is destitute. Many of their animals are sickly. It's destitute. And originally she wants to use the magic to kind of help build the farm back up. But then she realizes kind of selfishly and also intriguingly, she wants to be with Marcus, the rich man up the road who who she's always had a crush on, and they kind of had a thing.
The cute boy up the road.
Cute boy up the road. It's the reverse of the opposite of Buttercup and Wesley.
Yeah.
Just switch roles. She's a stable girl, or more like a milkmaid, probably, that's kind of how we're going. But just a farmhand, milkmaid, anything like that. Her family owns a farm. They are poor. She's beautiful in a poor way compared to those rich folk. Like, she's gorgeous. Snow White moment. Cinderella definitely got it from her. She's beautiful, but she's born in...
But she's poor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get you.
So I think her using Stella originally for selfish needs would be like the best thing. But then it would be cute for her to actually fall in love with Marcus. And that's the kind of thing. I think the saving would be just them growing, making that relationship. And it would be a wholesome, happy movie.
Yeah.
I don't think there would be anything too stressful. I think the saddest part of the movie to me would be, I would want Stella to be there in some way
when Marie passes
away.
I like that idea.
And she has a Mary Poppins moment, though, because technically...
Here's what we could do. we could pull a Revenge of the Sith moment where Marie dies in childbirth, and Stella is maybe Stella is the midwife and promises to Marie before Marie passes away that she will watch over Cinderella. And then our epilogue moment, because most of these Disney movies have an epilogue. Again, based on Disney, but I'm writing this like I want it, like Disney would produce it, because Cinderella is technically Disney, and blah blah blah.
Blah.
Anyway,
blah, blah.
But our epilogue moment could be that, and then Stella is narrating something about how she made a promise that she intends to keep it. She made a promise to protect people, and there's one little girl in particular that she will protect with her life, kind of thing. And we see a couple moments where, Cinderella's about to have something bad happen to her. She's going to make a mistake, and Fairy Godmother kind of steps in, bippity boppity boop. You're not falling down the well. You're not Timmy. You don't fall down the well.
You don't fall down the well, Timmy.
But so, stuff like that where, or like she's about to get trampled by horses and magically she's over here instead of right in front of the horse, or stuff like that.
The only reason why I want to throw not a wrench in that, but the only reason why I hesitate, because I love that and want it so bad.
Mm-hmm.
I have two reasons. One, it reminds me of Maleficent a lot.
That's kind of what I'm going for.
And number two is I don't want to retcon I imagine that this is a prequel to the live action Disney one in a way, because I love the scene. The thing that made me love the live action so much is Cinderella's mother looking her as a young girl and says, "Remember to always be kind." I loved it. It was simple. And that's what Ella did. She always was kind. And she was in this awful abusive relationship, and her kindness was shown by her fairy godmother to the whole world. And it shined so much that someone came looking for her. And and just her singing beautifully, and the Grand Duke hears her and says, "I must see every lady." Love that scene. I'm gonna cry if I think about it too much. So
I only ever saw the live action one once.
Oh my goodness.
It's been so long.
I think it's on Disney Plus again. I absolutely love it. It's adorable. It makes me think of my mother and sisters. Love it so much. But I think I really would want to see Ella growing up with all three of them, just for briefly. And I would want that the reason why she leaves is because her debt to Marie is finished.
Mm-hmm.
And also, maybe I want Lady Tremaine to just do something that makes it that she can't. And it could be that maybe Lady Tremaine knows in a way what she is, or she does all these things to ward off magic because she's a good citizen and she does not allow magic. And so she does all these wards, and since she keeps Ella in the confines of this home all the time and rarely lets her out, and she's always wearing stuff, like the only time we ever see Cinderella not in that building or not allowed around Lady Tremaine is when she's crying alone in the garden.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that would be the time where finally everything just aligns. Ella is in need. Lady Tremaine is gone. No wards are near her because it's in a sacred place that her parents loved, and that's when she appeared. Something like that. I just want to be able to understand, because I don't want people to think that, oh, well, Stella's just a jerk because she didn't help Ella through all those years. Well, then what's the reason why Ella couldn't come?
I would think that she does. My headcanon is that the fairy godmother's been there the whole time, and that when Cinderella's on her knees washing the floors for the third time that day, that Fairy Godmother's, casting a spell, making her, giving her energy.
Okay.
Helping her, at night she's helping her sleep, get enough rest, that kind of stuff.
I still want something with Lady Tremaine. Like, something's off with that woman, and it makes it that, Fairy Godmother can't. Like, there's just something off. And that woman is awful.
Yeah.
I don't remember which one came first. Whichever movie came first between Cinderella and Maleficent. They're voiced by the same. No. Yes. I believe they're voiced by the same person, and they are structurally the same. If you look at Lady Tremaine and you look at Maleficent, the way her hair goes up is supposed to be just like her horns. So, I don't know. I just want a cute. I really like what we've set up so far. I love how you called her Stella. So I was thinking, like, Stella could be a cute name, but that's kind of lame. But the idea that she's named after the Fairy Godmother would be such the cutest thing. Mm-hmm. Like, could you imagine that scene? Especially she's a midwife, she's helping, and as much Disney-fied as a childbirth as you can with a family movie, but just her holding the baby. And I would just imagine Marie's all tired. Marcus is holding her hand. They kind of have their heads tilted against each other, and they're looking at Stella hold this baby. She goes, "It's a beautiful little girl. What will you call her?" And they both, at the same time, no hesitation. They've been waiting for this as a surprise. They go, "Ella." And I just, ooh, that'd be cute. Oh my gosh. Sorry. Just a little bit slower stuff. Shut up, phone. I thought I put you on vibrate. Ugh. It's not even anything. Okay. It's fine. It's gone. Out the window. It went out. It flew away. It transformed and ran away. I want to get a few more minutes in about this. Just a few little stuff about the beginning. And just what we can do to kind of spit shine the ending, after. Oh my, I put you on. Oh, I'm gonna fight somebody. It's following me, isn't it? No, it's not. You good. I press vibrate. No, I can't talk right now. I'm busy right now. You're never gonna catch me. See y'all next to you. I'm back. I'm back, everybody. You didn't have to freak out. Don't freak out. Jeez. So, a little bit with the beginning. Do you like the idea that she's kind of using Stella selfishly to save the farm? Not selfishly.
No, I don't think. I think what it would be is more Stella offers, and that's how the friendship builds. Is Stella offers to help, and then Marie helps Stella somehow. Maybe Marie is the one who carves the wand or something like that. The wand could be from the broom handle that she uses or something like that, or I don't know.
So what would be cute would be that Marie is the one that came up with Bippity Boppity Boo.
Yeah, and that'd be really cute.
Don't know how, but
maybe.
So I imagine
maybe when they're a little bit younger, they're playing together, and Stella's like, something, I have magic, whatever, and Marie's like, I have magic too, bippity boppity boo.
So what I thought of? That. What if, so it'd be, we could retcon it that you don't have to say bippity boppity boo, because the three fairies from Sleeping Beauty, don't ask me their names up front. I only remember Merryweather, Fauna, Merryweather, and it's not Rose.
No,
whatever.
I can't remember.
Point being is that they never say anything. They just wave their wands. But I think what would be cute is if she saves little fairy godmother, and that's kind of the beginning of the movie. And then she's like, well, I wish you were my size. And she's like, well, if I had a wand, then I could. And that could be like a mini little, that could be a little part of the movie is, what does a wand do? Well, wands give us more power. They elevate us. There's, right now I'm just a little tiny fairy. And then there's the big fairies and the great fairies with beautiful wings. And like that could be your little tie into Maleficent, because Maleficent is a fairy, right? I'm not wrong.
I believe
think
so.
of that. So I've always thought she used to have these great wings. So it'd be cute to say that, a small fairy, there's little fairies like me. And we usually don't talk. And sometimes we're so angry, we only hold like one emotion, Tinkerbell, but I think that would be a little too much playing into it. But that she's like talking about the levels in a way. So how would they make the wand? What does it have to do? How does it entail? Does it have to
maybe that's what Marie does for Stella, is she goes out into the woods and gets a wand or something.
It could be cute that we could kind of tie in the animated and talk about how, how does one make a wand? It's like, well, they're made to make wishes, so you have to make a wish. And like, well, what is a wish? And well, they're dreams. So dreams are a wish your heart makes, sort of thing. And you're like, oh, cheesy, but I like it. The point being is that idea of holding a wish in your heart. And that was such a good point they could have made in the Wish movie. We made an episode about that. Go listen to it. I liked ours way better. But the point being is, I say that way too much. You know what I mean?
Know what I mean?
You know what I mean? So point being, moving on. I always have to feel anyway. So hear me out. So, dang it, I'm getting all distracted with all these words. I would just want them to make a wish together. I don't know what the wish would be, and
maybe wish everybody to be happy.
She's like, I just want to help people. I don't want to make something too cheesy, because there's so many fairies.
Maybe the wish. I like that. I like that. The wish is, I wish to be able to help people.
Yeah, because
that's her whole thing.
Yeah,
she wants to spread good.
It doesn't
to everybody.
Just be kind, and that's the cute thing is there are so many cute, like the Disney fairies. They are absolutely wonderful. The great fairy who helps Pinocchio, lovely, wonderful, and I know that they are seen as sometimes cheesy, but I feel like some of the best moments in the early Disney movies was sometimes you need a little more help. Sometimes there's just things that you can't do, and sometimes things are out of your control. And I'm not trying to imply of greater powers out there. I'm just saying that sometimes things do happen. And that was the whole thing of Disney back in the day. When you wish upon a star, a dream is a wish your heart makes, all those things. So I feel like having that idea would really help. Pinocchio being brought back to life, beautiful moment. Prince Philip needing to slay the dragon, and the fairies know exactly what he wants. Him throwing, oh my gosh, if I think about that scene too much. I love the early Disney, the Silver Age of Disney, a lot. Because there's such cute stories, and they were some of the scariest as well, but
they were also the simplest.
They were so simple and just beautiful of how wishes held in our hearts can push us to do more. Pinocchio wanted to be a real boy. Look what he accomplished. And he got, they're just so sweet stories. Cinderella was always kind and caring, and she was beaten for it. And what was her reward? Prince Philip wanted to save, and I know that the main character is Aurora, but Prince Philip wanted to save everyone. He was trapped, he was imprisoned, and all he wanted was to get out, and the fairies came to save Philip. And I've always imagined they just knew what he wanted, and they read his heart, and he was able to do it. He charged a dragon. No other Disney prince has ever done that. The only one I can think of as brave as him is Hercules, but that I digress. I would want a cute scene of them carving the wood, just the farm girl sitting there carving this. Like, are you sure it's okay? Like, I broke this broom forever ago. It's fine. And she's just carving this little tiny wand and power of friendship, whatever. I think it would be cute. Like, what would be your wish?
My Little Pony. Jeez.
My Little Pony. Quiet.
Nothing against My Little Pony.
I have everything. That and strawberry shortcake. I'll fight you. I'm kidding.
Anyway,
I went on a rant about wishes and how much I really love, and I think that's probably why this really hits me so much, because I would want the moment with the wand to be an absolutely beautiful moment between these two. And it would be so cute, because I imagine that when she finishes carving, she's like, oh, does it have to be, it needs to be bigger. I mean, it needs to be smaller because you're so small. And I just imagine that as she reaches for it, that's how it just makes her bigger as she's reaching for it.
She grows into it as she picks it up.
She grows into it, and it's this beautiful human-looking woman. And just the moment of them hugging each other for the first time would be so sweet. And then she grabs Marie by the shoulders and let's go get you that man. And then they run off, and then it shows them okay, I have a plan for tonight. What do you mean? Meet me at the old cottage at 11 and no sooner. And then that's when we get that scene. So I think it'd be cute. Well, actually, no. We need to have, it would be let's go save that farm. And it'd be her trying to save it, montage, whatever. And then the date. I want this. Where's the lamb sauce? Everyone looks at him as with his ram horns. He's like, I don't want to think about it. Keep going. They start cutting back. I just imagine everyone looks at him and he grunts. You see them just whole kitchen is busy, pauses, and when he turns around, they get back to everything they're doing.
I love it.
You can imagine it, right, in your head? All right.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Well, and we could have Gordon the man actually, be Gordon.
That would be so awesome. Funny. CGI just ran.
In the credits, Gordon Ramsay himself.
That would be so cute. But I think I say that too much. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean?
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean.
I like what we've done with this. I
agree.
I would want the ending scene though. I do like the idea that she helps Ella every now and then. And we can make it a monologue at the end of, this Lady Tremaine didn't make it hard. Didn't make it easy to help Ella. And it was hard for me to hold my promise with Marie. That woman, and it could and I imagine the screen could get dark. That woman has something. And we'll just leave it at that. There's just a presence with Lady Tremaine that it doesn't invite wishful thinking. She's just a cruel person. And you can't always, it's hard to bring that light in if it's so much darkness, if that makes sense. So I would think that after Marcus died, it became even harder for her to help. But I would want the ending of the movie to be, we see Ella running. Oh, We just see Ella running out crying after the dress being torn, and we all would know what scene it is. We don't have to show it, but it would just show her crying, and the camera would be
missing one slipper.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about her running.
No, you're talking about, yes. I know the scene you're talking about.
And it shows Ella just fall down and just bawling her eyes out. And then it would just end with her appearing and holding Ella. And I don't want it to be just her caressing. It would like show like Ella
an embrace.
Lift up, and she's just holding her. And she's like, "I've got you, my sweet child." And that would be the end of the movie. It would just,
I love it.
It wouldn't be this like, "Oh, sweet child." It would be like, I'm here, sweetie. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. And I know that stinks, and I know that doesn't clear up everything. I do wish. I would think to explain why Stella could not help Ella as much as she wanted is because of the cruelty of Lady Tremaine. And I know that might be a weird way to say it, but like I said, there are just some people who can cast out light by just how cruel they are. And Lady Tremaine, to me, is one of the worst Disney villains because she's just... How can you be so mean? The part where she encourages her daughters to just tear... I just can't think about it too much. And I know there are people like that out there. And they make it so that, like I mentioned, you cannot help the people who are in that abusive relationship. So when Stella finally got a chance to help her goddaughter, she seized it and gave her the best night and got her out of there. So, I can't think about that too much. Any things you want to add to that? I'm sorry. I think I stole most of the night. I'm so sorry. I think this shows everybody how much of it I am. A pretty big Disney nerd. So, yeah, I'm sorry, Tim. I need to give the floor to you.
You're fine.
This was a lot of fun. This felt so good.
It was nice to tell a story again. It's been a minute.
Just the kitchen scene, the scene of them hugging for the first time would be amazing.
Yeah.
Ella being born and receiving her name. Oh, those are some cute scenes that I think would just fit so much. Oh, I keep talking. I'm sorry. Tim,
you're fine.
Say something.
Honestly, I don't have much else to say. I like what we've put together. So if you're cool with it, I guess we'll be done for today.
All right.
So, and as always, love each other, be kind, try to make your wishes come true. And until next time.
Until next time, we'll see you later, pitches. Bye.
Goodbye.